Guten Tag, and welcome back to Chefs Inc. News. I'm Chef Antonio.
And I'm Dr. Sophia. And today we are going to talk about something that hits chefs harder than a dead weekend and an empty dining room.
Ja, genau. Getting played online before you ever fire a single pan. Here's the scene. You get an inquiry. Big budget. Serious client. Maybe a private dinner, a corporate event, a week of catering. You start thinking, finally, this one is real. You're already mentally planning the menu. Then the message changes. The pressure starts. The payment gets strange. And before you know it, the deal is not a booking. It is a trap.
And Mira, we need to be very clear. This episode is not a cheap attack on every booking platform. It is not fear-mongering. It is not gossip. This is a protection episode for chefs, caterers, and restaurant owners who take inbound business seriously.
Because legitimate platforms can still create openings for fake clients, impersonators, bad leads, and payment fraud, especially when professionals move too fast and trust too early.
Exactly. And that's where talent is not enough. You need process.
This episode of Chefs Inc. News is proudly sponsored by Chefs Inc. Miami. Stay hungry for news. Let's dig in.
Let's start with a hard truth. Chefs are ideal targets for online fraud. And the reason is simple. Our industry trains us to be vulnerable to it.
Yes, we live in urgency. We're used to last-minute events, changing head counts, budget shifts, special requests, crazy timelines, and clients who want magic with almost no warning. So when a weird inquiry lands, it doesn't always feel weird. It feels normal.
That's the loophole. Fraud works best when it hides inside a business habit. In hospitality, speed is normal. Flexibility is normal. High emotion is normal. Scammers step right into that environment and try to look like just another demanding client.
And there is another reason many chefs struggle here. A lot of us are independent operators. No big finance team, no legal department, sometimes no office manager, no booking coordinator. It is just you, your phone, your inbox, your calendar, and your hope that the next job is worth it.
So one bad decision can do real damage. Lost time, lost product, lost labor, lost trust, sometimes even banking problems. And this is not only about private chefs, Antonio.
No, it is not.
Restaurant owners, caterers, meal prep businesses, event operators. Anybody who takes inbound inquiries and moves fast around money is exposed.
That is exactly right. So let us be specific about how it actually happens. Here is how it usually begins. The inquiry sounds attractive, maybe even too attractive. Yes, the client says they found you online. They love your style. They want a serious event. The budget sounds generous. The guest count is reasonable. The details sound possible. You start thinking, this could be a strong booking.
Then the second layer appears. Urgency. They need a quick answer. They are traveling. They are too busy for a proper call. They want to lock you in fast. They push emotion before trust.
And then comes the move that should make every chef stop cold.
The payment gets strange.
Exactly. A check shows up, or they overpay, or they say they accidentally sent too much, or they ask you to help pay a planner, a driver, a rental company, or another vendor from the money they already sent you. That is not professional coordination. That is the classic setup. The Federal Trade Commission calls it a fake check scam. Here's how they describe it. Someone sends you a check, often for more than they owe, and then asks you to send some of the money back or pay a third party. And here's the part that destroys people. Even if the money appears in your bank account, that does not mean the check is good. By the time the bank discovers the fraud, the money you sent is gone, and you still owe the bank. That is the part that needs to be on a wall in every kitchen office. Calmate, chef. But yes, that is exactly the warning that needs to land. And the scammer makes it sound so reasonable. Can you just do me a favor? Can you send the rest to my assistant? Can you pay the rental company? No favor, no shortcut, no forwarding money. You are a chef, not a bank. You are a chef, not a bank.
Now let us be fair and professional. Not every bit that form works the same way, and not every complaint means fraud. But every chef needs to understand the model, because the model tells you where the pressure points are.
Yeah, genau. Let's go through the main ones. First, Bark. Bark is a paid lead marketplace. Professionals pay credits to access inquiries, and lead prices are shown upfront before you decide to respond. Bark also says it screens requests by asking customers questions, verifying phone numbers when possible, removing abusive users, and closing requests later found not genuine, so professionals are not charged for responding. That is the official position, and it is important to say that fairly.
It is. But here is the real-world pressure. If you are paying just to access a conversation, you can start chasing hope instead of quality. And once money leaves your pocket to pursue a lead, you are emotionally more likely to believe that lead is real.
That is the trap inside the model. That does not mean Bark is a criminal enterprise. It means the lead-based structure can create financial pressure and trust pressure at the same time. And that is exactly where chefs need discipline.
Exactly. So no magia, just good strategy. Understand what you are paying for before you pay for it.
Now, compare that with Yhangry. Yhangry says it works with vetted chefs, holds all payments in escrow until after the event, and offers cancellation protection and customer support. That changes the risk profile because the money flow is more controlled.
And Take a Chef says full payment is processed through the platform, and bookings are covered by cancellation, chef payment, and complaints policies. Again, that does not make every experience perfect, but the payment architecture is different from a loose lead marketplace setup.
So the smart question is never which platform is evil. The smart question is this:
where's the money? Who controls the money? And when does the money become real?
That is the question, every single time. Okay, so now we know how it works. Now let's talk about how to protect yourself. Not drama, not fear. Process. Rule number 1, no verified identity, no booking. If somebody wants to spend serious money with your business, they can take a call. They can answer basic questions. They can confirm who they are. If they avoid normal business steps, that is not premium behavior. That is a warning. Rule number 2, no strange payment flow. If a stranger sends extra money and asks you to move part of it somewhere else, stop. End of story. Do not explain it away. Do not make an exception. Do not say, maybe it's fine. It is not fine. Rule number 3, keep payment inside a protected system whenever possible. If the platform has structured payment flow, use it properly. If it is direct business, use your own clear invoicing and contract process. But do not improvise with strangers. Rule number 4, if the deal gets more confusing the closer you get to money, walk away. Real clients usually become clearer as the booking moves forward. Scammers become messier. Warning number 5, watch the language. If the client avoids specifics, keeps changing details, writes in strange patterns, rushes every answer, and refuses normal verification, don't explain it away. Simplicity is professional. Confusion is expensive. Rule number 6, protect your business like a business, not like a side hustle. Contracts, deposits, clear terms, written scope, defined timeline, confirmed headcount, real names, real phone call, real invoice, real payment method. Because no chef should be risking inventory, labor, prep time, and reputation on a fantasy inquiry. And here is what I want every chef to hear. The moment you get in trouble is usually not the first message. It is the moment you stop following your own rules because the opportunity looks good. That is the moment. Fraud gets its power when a professional says, I know this feels strange, but maybe it's fine. That one sentence has cost a lot of people a lot of money. So your system has to be stronger than your emotions. Every time.
Now, let me speak directly to restaurant owners and operators. Do not think this is only a private chef problem.
No, because this affects every food business that takes inbound bookings. If your restaurant offers catering, private dining, offsite events, consulting, classes, branded collaborations, or prepaid large party bookings, you are exposed too.
And for operators, there is another danger that often gets missed: internal confusion. One person on the team says yes, another takes a payment screenshot, another starts prep. Nobody really verified the client. That is how bad money becomes real labor and real cost.
So if you run a business, create one standard booking protocol, one chain of approval, one payment policy, one contract standard, one clear rule for unusual requests. Because fraud loves scattered teams and unclear systems.
That is unglaublich important. So write it down, make it standard, train your people on it. Let me say this as straight as possible. The modern food business is not only about cooking well. It is about protecting your work from people who know how to exploit your hustle.
And the strongest businesses are not the ones that trust everybody. They are the ones that make trust earn its way in.
If somebody you do not know sends money and asks you to send some back, it is not a business opportunity. It is a trap.
If a platform gives you access to leads, use judgment. If a platform controls payment, understand the rules. If a client wants speed without verification, slow the deal down. Professionalism is not saying yes to everything. Professionalism is knowing what deserves a yes.
Chef family, restaurant family, caterers, operators, protect your craft, protect your calendar, protect your cash flow. Do not let a fake client turn your ambition against you.
This is Chefs Inc. News. News for chefs, created by chefs. And remember, no I'm magic, just good strategy.
This episode of Chefs Inc. News is proudly sponsored by Chefs Inc. Miami. Stay hungry for news.
And before we go, here is our question for you. What is one red flag you will never ignore again?
Dankeschön for listening.